What is up, YouTube? McIntyre here. Today I want to bring you guys a new replay analysis. Wanting to go over our Beast Up versus Superstars Game 5. One of my probably all-time favorite games that I've played in Heroes of the Storm. If you guys do not want a spoiler, I'll link in the description below. Right now, this game, you can go and watch it yourself. But I will be talking about the game and what happens fairly soon. So if you haven't seen the game, go watch it before you come watch this. Essentially, in this video, I'm going to be focusing on myself and things that I'm doing, but I'll also talk about my team and just what we're doing as a team. But again, more of the focus will be on me and my positioning and what I'm trying to do on rotations and whatnot, right? But yeah, so we're going to jump into this game. Again, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a really good game. Or if you just want to listen to me talk about it while you kind of watch it, I guess that's fine too. But so we're hopping into this game. As you guys know, this is game 5. We were down 0-2 this series. We've brought it back 2 games, and we are going into the 5th game. Pretty hype game. I think most of the momentum's behind us at this point. But Superstars has taken our comp. As most people know, we actually really like Tyrande on this map. And you could tell in the previous tournament that we played, we picked the Tyrande here. And they actually took it from us, so we had to get the Medivh. Which was kind of sketchy, actually. It's not like we're not practice on Medivh, but we got beast up on that owl. I didn't even know that I beast up there. Well, sure. But you can see here, I'm not really stepping up to overkill. I just want to grenade the wave. Cool interaction with Li Ming and Taikes too is like if you grenade the wave, it opens up so he can like lay an orb out in the middle of the wave. But beginning of the game, they have all the kill pressure. So any misstep here and you're pretty much dead against their team. I think we announced the K1 that they're missing. You can see he rotates and sees them. This is a good window for us to push the wave out though and get in position. And again, we have to be really careful in the beginning for the one shot. As long as Medivh's near us, it's okay. But we end up choosing to race here. Considering they're missing 2 of their damage dealers, this is not a terrible decision to race, right? We knew Vala and I think it was a support, was still bottom, and we saw 3 of them on theirs. So we ended up about going even on the race. And then here we decide, okay, well, we're already committed to the race. Let's continue to commit to it. Murden's going to go mess with him, and they actually really just don't put a lot of damage on him at all. So it's interesting to say if him going to mess with them was even worth it. It almost looked like they didn't do anything to him and all focused the boss like you're supposed to. So I think if Murden had actually helped us on that first one, he would have done that extra 400. Especially since, you know, just his hammer and his clap alone would probably be that damage. But that's okay. It's a pretty weak boss, no shield boss, which means it needs to melee the double towers, and you can just kill it pretty quickly. Plus, we have the Li Ming. So I don't even know, you know, this type of boss with the double towers and full ammo doesn't even get really that much value. Gets a tower and a wall. But you can see still, I'm playing really safe. I need to watch out for ETC. And most of this game, my eyes are on the ETC. Because if I get hit by slide, then it's all over. So I need to really be careful of that. And I'm going to spend most of my time just throwing grenades. And waiting for ETC to engage on us. And then counter-engaging with a minigun. Also, just like looking back on this game, there's a part of me that wishes that I had taken Bigger They Are. Bigger They Are like really messes ETC up since he's a solo tank in this game. Just like hitting passive and shooting him for the 2 seconds that I might be able to shoot him is going to probably get more value than in the rhythm. Although this game goes long enough that in the rhythm, I think in the end ends up getting value. This is also an Odin game because they have so much backline. This game's an Odin game. I usually like drill when they have heavy front line, or they're going to go into us and I'll drop drill and then drill will get a lot of value. But when we're posturing, Odin is usually how I like the ultimate that I like to take. So you can see here, just a mirror match, typical BOE stuff. Superstars could opt to invade, but you saw that they out there, and yeah, I mean, this is pretty typical for BOE. Both teams do a camp, both teams do their hards. Now now each team has to defend somehow, and depending on where the bosses spawn, it's gonna kind of force this. So we actually get the aggressive spawn, and since Superstars was headed bottom, they were not in position. Meanwhile, we had opted to go in position in case that it spawned where it did to win the race. So now we're gonna posture around to see if it's get a good spawn. All right, we have a perfect spawn. Each team does, and Li Ming plays really good here. Goes, starts poking. I'm gonna defend now. They're gonna defend. This is why, like, RNG on this map is actually so much more important than a lot of people think it is. Where the bosses spawn means a lot and can kind of influence this game. So Cav, for the most part, is safe here as long as K1 shields when they go in on him. So he can step up. But again, you can see my positioning really far back. I just want to throw grenades and counter engage if Shrey goes on us. I actually end up going to tap here. The reason for the tap is that I assume that we're going to fight. So I want to be full health to really commit to their team. And you'll see now that I have a tap, I have my E going on Shrey. And I end up chunking him 50% with a grenade. So the tap is kind of a safety net for me in order to play really confident into their team. Because of that aggressive rotation and that aggressive push, I think we're able to win this boss. Yep. So we finally got a boss. Again, we tapped, and then we went really heavy into them. So we're going to trade up every time if they're trading with us while we have tap heals going. And it ended up pushing them back to a point where we can then rotate, and then they either have to collapse or try to race. And in that case, they actually tried to race. And because we were just that few seconds ahead, we ended up pulling ahead there. Here, the boss is so weak. Again, we just talked about how weak a no-shield boss is, that we just choose to push the side lane. Oh, so close. If Calf had hit that, I think we get a kill. But we choose to push the side lane because that boss is maybe going to get a wall at most. And this way we can get 2 walls. Even pressure for a kill. So you can see here, again, Shrey slides, and then I'm going to minigun, right? And poke with the grenade. And that's basically really going to be most of my game that you'll see here. Is just stepping to Shrey if I know his slides down, or if he is looking to slide me, like, I'm going to look to E his slide, and then he gets punished every time there. But I do have to be careful, because if K1's not nearby and they hit slide on me, you're just dead. I mean, you're instantly dead against his team comp. So here you can see I'm in. Shrey sees me, have to E. So it kind of slows me down on my rotation a little bit, and I actually choose to not back and just, oh, no. I remember thinking this. I was like, do I tap here? And I was like, no, I don't tap. I really wanted to save my tap for the objective. Some people tap there. We actually thought they were going to push, which is why I was like, okay, I think I'm going to tap, because we thought they were going to push and then we'd have to defend. But they ended up not pushing, so I just got a full back. And now I have a tap ready for next fight. We're both going to be 10. We have a little window where we have to be careful here. Although we saw them top, so. Just letting them have the camp. We end up going to hard camp. We burn this really quick. And I think this camp actually gets good value here. We'll check on that in a few seconds, but I'm almost positive this camp gets value. So again, we get a defensive spawn. Both teams do. And here's RNG coming at you. Imagine if the boss had spawned bottom, right? It's dead, it spawns top. And since we have that camp bottom lane, I actually hit Odin. And I start getting poking. You can see here, I hit a 4-man Q there. I need to be careful of Shrey. I'm just poking, and we're creating space for that camp bottom. You see the camp bottom just getting the same value, and we see ETC actually head down to defend it. When ETC shows, we're going to play up now. They have no ETC. You can see our team start moving up. The shield comes out on Calf. The only problem there was that he lived and then kept tanking. I remember that fight. This fight was actually like a big deal because we don't need to, like, we just need a posture. We don't need to all in there, and it felt kind of like we all in. We like forced, right? Like they engaged, and then we should just reset and then keep poking. Instead, we continue to try to fight into them, and I think we lose that fight pretty much 90% of the time. At least until reabsorption happens. Like when we hit 16 and we get reabsorption, it'll change the flow of that. But again, here we go. We get an RNG. So for anyone who says, "Oh, this game's not RNG," like this was RNG. And had that been a defensive spawn, we could have defended that. Instead, it spawns right at their feet. So best response that we can make there is to just race, because even if we go defend, they'll just slowly poke it down because it's on their side. So, again, frustrating spawns. But they did that hard camp instead of pushing, so we get to kill this boss fairly scotch-free. I mean, it's a BOE boss, so it's probably going to get fort no matter what. And we have to be careful of stage dive, so we actually end up giving it up. And we'll just defend on the double towers again. And just look how hard the BOE boss hits. I don't know. Sometimes I like this map, and sometimes I hate it. Alright, so stage dive obviously cannot hit us when we're behind our wall. So we just get to defend this now on the double tower. But at this point in the game, I mean, yeah, it's looking pretty grim. 2-level lead. We're the, I would say, weaker composition in some regards. And we're getting kind of down on structures on BOE, which is a map where, like, structures mean everything. And if you lose one objective, like at this point, if we lose an objective, a healthy one, we just lose the game. So I'm not really sure why we back there. I think we thought they were going to push bot. So we were respawning. We don't want to give up a wall for free. Now we just need to get 13 before the next objective spawns. Which you're going to see our team do that. We're just going to be super focused right now on XP, XP, XP. And the cool thing about if their team gets a camp, like bottom, for example, they got that camp. So what's happening is that minion wave is just pushing and denying the XP for their team. Same with the top. This top wave will push into our base, and all the XP that that camp kills, they won't be able to get. So we just want to clean up waves now. We finally hit 13. We just need to get these easies cleared up before the objective spawns. So I'm going to play fairly up here. We're aware of the ETC stage dive. So we don't need to go too ham, but we want to get that camp cleared, and we got the camp cleared. And again, RNG coming in. This is the 4th time this game, I think, at least the 3rd, that we've got aggressive spawns. Sometimes you draft comps to like get a okay, so essentially like our comp is a defensive draft because we have Murden with normally Kef took reverb here, but normally you would take Sledge at 4 on Murden so that you can throw Qs and slowly poke, and then you take Li Ming because you can slowly poke, right? And we would be a defensive comp. Meanwhile, like Superstars comp is very aggressive. Like if they get a mark with the Tronda and then ETC stands there, they can soak up a lot of damage. So Dream actually gets pulled in. Matre goes for the save and ends up going down in Dream's spot. But I got my Odin going this whole time, so I'm getting fairly good damage on them. This is where I get a sick little juke here. And we're kind of postured to not give up the objective, but we can't die here. You just cannot afford to die here. I remember this is where I took the portal and I was like, oh. And then I took the portal back. I thought he had portaled me up. Instead, he had portaled me into their team. Yeah, that was fun. I was like, oh god, I'm in the middle of their team. But it kind of juked them out. So again, we're 2 levels down. I mean, just looking at this game right now, like I know I was playing the game, but like looking at it from an observer's point of view, I almost want to like close out and read the chat. Like, there's no telling how like toxic that chat is right now. But I mean, they do have a really strong boss. I don't have Odin to defend this. This is one of those situations where you say, like, literally, I can hear myself in the comms right now saying, just kill the boss, don't die, give up the keep. Like, we lose keep here, but we lose the game if we die. We do not lose the game if no one dies here. And you can see that Starfall was a little late, honestly. But we do not lose. We lose a keep. Hey, we're still on our back foot. I mean, just from the back foot point of view, like, on this map, it's tough because katas are annoying and you always seem like, you always feel like you have to push the waves. So it was really, you know, we felt like we might lose. And there's a part of me that wants to say that we should have. But we'll see, you know, how we continue to find a way to win. I mean, truthfully, in this spot, I think this is, even though we're 2 levels down, I think this is a good fight for us. Like, we have the Medivh. They don't really do well in throttles. We do pretty well in throttles with Medivh Q, and yeah, I don't know. I wanted to fight that, but I mean, we're 3 levels down at this point now, so really, again, our objective is just get 16 and don't die. So you see, we're soaking out top. ETC is even like backdooring. The ETC is actually going through our base. And to try to defend this push, I'm going to hit Odin. Goku actually counter-strike to get damage on that keep. Here we decide that we want to chase them. But I would have rather us just defended. This is us forcing though. I mean, when you're like when you're down, you have to try to force, and that's exactly what we're doing here. But in doing so, we take core damage. No, okay, we don't take core damage yet, so that's later. But our core is threatening, and I'm gonna back now. But here we go, RNG finally on our side. This is a classic, like, Hearthstone moment. So we get a defensive spawn, but Calf still gets annihilated through Avatar with Medivh shield. And yeah, I mean, this is basically, wow, we've lost the game. And this is where I'm stepping up here. I remember in comms I said I'm going insane, and you'll see Superstars kind of panics. So they're trying to damage, obviously, but I am playing aggressive as can be. Stray misses his slide, and you can see here I'm just literally stepping up into all of them. Get a good 3-man grenade. Goku gets 7-sided it out. Gotta get out of this Starfall. But I'm still stepping up. I'm being really aggressive here. Like, we all are at this point though. And this is where the in the rhythm starts to get value. Get a grenade, kill Hosty. We're going to clean up Nightmare. Nightmare does get the objective, but, you know, we just got 4 kills for the 1 Murden in a 4v5. So that was a 4v5 where we ended up getting 4 kills, and they finished the boss. Like, the funny part, okay, so this is actually the funny part. Like, looking at it right now, if they don't finish that boss, you know, is it possible that they respawn and have time to come back and finish it, right? Because this boss wins the game if they're pushing with it. In this case, since they're all dead, no one gets to push with it. So we defend this boss, and look at the threat on this stupid thing. Like, we're all 5 hitting it, and it's still pushing down buildings. Like, BOE boss is so strong. Like, this thing's gonna make it to our core. And our team's hitting it the entire time. Like, it's wild. wild. But we do get a free defend. I mean, that was where I thought we had lost. And that's why I said, like, I'm just going insane. I just made the call that I'm just going to step up. K1, essentially, it was like, shield me, Matre, watch my back. Yeah, we made a play. I mean, we made a play as a 4v5. And now we're kind of catching up. They're still 2 levels down, so the map is still theirs. We have to push out top. We have to push out bot. We have cata pressure on us now. But we want to focus on getting 20. Here we actually like look for a pick, but Toronto Owl comes out. But we play up when we say, okay, well, we're just going to play aggressive. And in this spot, a lot of the time, teams do not want to fight because it's almost silly to, because we're gonna hit 20 soon. I mean, they're gonna hit 20, so we force it. I mean, I hit Odin. Like we use cooldowns here. The Odin may have been unnecessary, honestly. But, I mean, we were saying, all right, we got to get XP somehow, and this is how we're gonna do it. So we just play super forward. I have an Odin again. I don't know, looking at it now, I don't even think I should Odin there. So I need to go clear out top. It's a big wave. K1's got vision of him. Dream's clearing bot. I don't really... I want to get the soak on the minions, but you can see Dream's getting the soak on the minions. And I'm just focused killing katas. So when you wave clear, when the catapult lane's coming at your core, usually just try to kill the catapult if you have to rotate quick. And we get a decent spawn here, honestly. I mean, imagine if it spawned aggressive for them and they could just have immediately raced. Like, we would have been in trouble. I get a really good chunk on Kona. Shrey sees me, but he's afraid, right? I just kind of push them off. So if Shrey slides me there, there's no follow-up. And now Matre has 16 cleanse. So it's really good for our team if anyone does get slid. So I can start to play. You'll see here now that I'll be a little more confident. You see, I've used my E aggressively. I'm chunking Kona. I'm chunking Goku. And I haven't hit this portal after we kill Kona and go for more kills. So we're popping off here. I mean, at this point, we got the pick on Malf, which is really good. And then we see stage dive from Shrey, and the slide happens, and then this is where finally In the Rhythm gets some value. Like, let's just rewind super quick. So as I was saying here, I want to wait for him to slide and then minigun. You ready? Just the whole health bar. Get a grenade, knock him back into me. And then we get the resets. Huge, huge play. Calf kind of pushes him off. And during that, though, our core was getting pressured. So you see me, I'm going to grenade the Kata off. Honestly, I needed to probably kill the spear guys instead, because the Kata had actually aggroed back to the mid tower. But you can throw grenades to knock Katas and stuff off of your core. Even like keeps and stuff. If the creature is not an aggro of the thing that it can attack, then it'll aggro you. And here RNG comes to their rescue, honestly. And with 3 of them dead, it gives them an aggressive spawn. And this is where Calf makes the call, because there's 2 on this, and it's not a bad call. Because there's 2 on this, we can kill them, right? And we're going to go for that here. It just so happens that we miss everything, and Hosey sprints away. And because he sprints away, we've used all of our resources, but we did push them off of the boss, which isn't terrible. So now we just need to win the boss. And as you can see, it's 2020. We're about to get a pretty beefy boss. I mean, the level 20 boss is fairly strong. This is where K1 gets slid by ETC, and then Kona makes a blink Twilight. And we've won the objective, but we're getting threatened on our core, as you can see. I'm going to go end up clearing out that Kata top. But it's go time now, baby. I mean, this is go time. We see the stage dive, and the stage dive immediately says, okay, time to Odin. They're coming in, right? So I'm just shooting what I can. Currently hitting Shrey. But the idea is that we're just pushing them off. We just need to push them off. This nuke, for example, even is targeting that catapult, because we do not want to let katas get to our core. So now I'm just shooting Nightmare now. I'm zoning that Vala. I want to dodge the root. Goku makes a good play to push us into the root. He ends up killing Li Ming, but he dies for it, which is a big kill, honestly, on his part. That's a huge kill. I miss my grenade. End up killing Vala though anyways. Then Kona is about to die. Gets a good ice block. Hosty's up there tanking, you can see. He goes down to the minigun. I throw a grenade to get both those Katas off of our core. And this is where Shrey is almost killing the core. He gets Medivh cheated. Good bolt by him, honestly, here. Look at, you can see our team panicking. I should have E'd there to the left instead of the right. And Calf with a very clutch hammer. Let me watch that one more time. I don't think the hammer gets enough credit. Calf had no mana here. And he's right as he gets mana. Here we go. You ready? Like, I mean, Shrey's... Look, boom, the hammer. Nice diagonal hammer. Hit Shrey. Gives us enough time to kill him. And again, we talked about how stupidly strong the boss is on this map. Look at the boss. That was a 50% health boss with top fort still up, and it is now killed keep wall, keep. It's now killing keep tower. And we kill out the catapult bottom, and we proceed to the core. Yeah, this is a really big win for us, honestly. It just goes to show you that it is possible to make a comeback. Because even watching the game now, like, I don't think we should win it. Like, we were just so down. It looked so grim, you know? We ended up, you know, even with them killing my team, I have a full health Odin shooting at their core. So, and we ended up taking the win. So, it was a really good game, honestly. I think I actually played it really well. A lot of the time there with my comp, I'm the only person that can die for my team. So when you're in a situation where the only person you can die, the only way you can lose a game for your team is if you miss position. And in that game, I felt like I never mispositioned. Like, there was not once where I had gotten caught out. I ended up having like a perfect score that game. Like, I had top siege damage, top hero kills, top assist, 0 deaths, most damage done, most XP soaked. Like, it was like the absolute perfect game. Like, I had played the perfect game. So I was really happy about my performance that game. And honestly, just the performance of my team, we brought it back. It's not easy to do that. When you're 2 levels down on BOE, that's a map that snowballs out of control. Couple good spawns got us there, honestly, and some good picks. But yep, that is going to be this replay analysis, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to throw a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can always check me out on Twitch and Twitter. Those are both going to be located below in the description. Again, appreciate you guys' support so much. I really do, as you encourage me to continue to try to make these videos for your entertainment and learning purposes. So, again, thank you guys for your support. With that said, I'll see you guys next video. And until then, cheers.